So shine, so shine, shine bright. So shine, so shine, shine bright.
Welcome to another Soul Shine conversation. We are so pleased to help you elevate your light, to shine your soul brightly on our planet. It is why you incarnated. My next guest is Cinnamon Clark, who is here assisting you to be empowered on this planet and truly shine your soul's light. Hello, Cinnamon. Thank you for being here.
Hi, I'm so freaking excited. I cannot wait. Thank you for having me. Seriously, thank you.
Well, you are so beautiful. You're psychic and you help people release the trauma, the shadow, the things that hold us down so that we truly can be that person, that being that we came to this planet to be. And I first just want to ask you how this came to you. How did your skills come into form? What happened? How was your awakening? Was it all in your life or was there a cataclysmic event?
It was all in my life. Well, when I was a little kid, I thought everybody could do it. And then when I realized, wait, the animals don't talk back to you. Oh, snap. I better shut my cake hole. I better not knock it off. So I fought it, but fought being psychic. I mean, like shoving a cat in a bathtub. I was hissing and scratching because I didn't want it. I didn't want to do it because I am a behaviorist, a canine behaviorist, and that's what I've done for decades. And I specialize in highly aggressive dogs. And so, when I would work with the dogs, all of their panic and rage would just dissipate. And all of my clients said the same thing. My dog's not the same unless they come to stay with you a couple times a year because they couldn't board them at a regular facility, so they would stay at my house. So and they would, of course, would come to my house and just be like, "Whew, thank goodness," because I'd take all the funk out. I mean, a joke. It's like Cinimon's funk removal service, I swear. And then they'd go home all happy. But I tried to keep my psychic stuff separate. I had been giving psychic readings just on the sly, on the DL, the down low, and I had never advertised because I didn't want to freak people out. But, I mean, I taught group classes for highly aggressive dogs for about 18 years, and my magic started to leak out. And I was mortified. I remember this lovely woman asked me in class, and she said, "Well, where do we practice this?" It was like a barrier command so the dog doesn't run out in the street or whatever. And I just wasn't thinking. And I said, "Oh, in the foyer, right there where you put the new tile, if you move that table over like a foot to the left, then you can practice right there. And even if he gets out, the fence is fixed now, so you're good." And she just went, "Oh, of course." And then she stopped a minute and went, "Wait, you've never been to my house." Oops. And then I had to backtrack and go, "Holy crap, I'm so sorry. I'm not a stalker, I swear." And so I just thought everybody could do it. When I realized they couldn't, I shut it down. But then when it started coming back, I had to come out of the broom closet. And because I'm so many things, medium and animal communicator and energy healer and amplifier and all the clairs, I got all that crap going on. So it's like a lot. So I had to come clean, and now my life is a lot easier. So there you are.
What age did you shut it down and what age did it come back? Did you come out and open it?
I kept it quiet for most of my childhood, and then I had, henceforth to be known as the incident we called it junior high school, but they call it middle school now. And I was, of course, in Mississippi at Bayou View Junior High School, and I got this download for this kid and all about his life. And I mean, this was at lunch. And I'm a kid, and it freaked me out. And I said, "Well, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore." And I just did, and I put it away until it really got ridiculous. Things falling off shelves and voices and footsteps down the hallway and doors slamming and things like that. And my friends were all freaked out. And really, of course, come to find out that most poltergeist activity is just you.
Oh,
It was just my energy flinging off the walls, and I didn't know how to, I'd go to turn on a lamp and the bulb would blow, and, just I break all kind of electronics. And now that I know how to deal with my energy, that doesn't happen anymore. And like energy attracts like energy. So any kind of icky, sticky, weird little things, woohoo, they loved my chaotic energy. So it was poltergeist ridiculousness until I said, okay, fine. Ugh, fine, I admit it, I'm psychic. And now everything has gotten a lot smoother. But I do have lots of rules for the deceased folk. They used to pull my hair and push me and pull my clothes and do all this mess. And I'm like, you can't do that anymore. That's real rude. And I told my son, because I'm a single mama, and he's seen dead folks since he was little bitty, always. And we called them just ghosties with the mosties because I didn't want to freak him out.
okay.
So we
All right.
have rules for them, just like the living people. You wouldn't let them come into your bedroom and touch your face in the middle of the night. That's creepy. If you're living or dead or whoever you are, that's not okay. So we made lots of rules, and so now they don't bug us anymore.
Oh my gosh, you are psychic. I was going to ask you about your ghost stories as this.
Oh yeah,
I know I was going to say, did you ever experience ghosts? Because that's
always.
that's par for the course when you're open like this. I just want to say, I love your accent, your
Ah,
beautiful accent.
it comes and goes.
It's so cute. It really. And so here you are. You were born and raised in Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
And so what was that like? Was that another reason why you shut it down? Because it's not
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
so
I
good.
think in the South, I mean, my grandmama Modine was a
Oh,
psychic
that's
woman too, and
family.
everybody in my family's psychic. They go, no, no, that's not it. It's just cinnamon. That we don't do that. I'm like, y'all, I'm related to you. Like,
Uh,
come on now, it ain't rocket surgery. It's not that hard to figure out. But I'm the only one I think who has really embraced it and really admitted it. And now everybody in my family, if I say no, I feel this, they go, okay, because they've seen, I'm in my 50s now. They've seen that it's just every single time it is what it is. So, you know, they could trust their psychic friend network over here that
yeah.
what I say is true. And really I feel like it's because I'm autistic. Also, I'm autistic and I have ADHD, obviously ADHD, woohoo. But I'm autistic, so that means I have this absurd level of confidence that I probably have no business having. With some stuff. With other stuff, I'm like, oh, no confidence at all. But so I just, even if I'm in a meditation, I have no fear. I just have no fear, because the question I always get asked is, aren't you worried about the demons? And I'm like, y'all, I have given like thousands of readings. You'd think at this point I'd be scared of something. But is that confidence? Even if I'm in meditation, there's an icky, sticky, creepy thing. I go, get the out of here. What is wrong with you? Are you on glue? Absolutely not. Get out, get out, get out. I don't have time for this. And I just
Wow.
and I just plow through.
Wow. And so you say that we can all do this. We can all tap
To a
into
degree.
to a degree. You're really tapped in and tuned in, and that's wonderful. I'm glad, because most of us would get freaked out. I mean, I remember the
Yeah.
first time, well, I have a ghost story. I won't go into it here, but it did freak me out. We
Yeah.
had to help this. It was a teenager who killed herself in a house that,
Oh.
yes, it was very sad, but with the process of calling her spirit, using something that she had touched in the house and having a ceremony around that, we felt, both the girl who was helping me, we felt a cold breeze go by,
Oh
and we had
yeah.
a fire in the fireplace, and it illumined,
Ooh.
and she was free. And then my dog, who was scared to sleep downstairs in the basement, that's where she did
Oh.
it, now was sleeping down in the basement. And there was an odor
Oh.
that was down there in the basement that
Yeah.
disappeared. It was no longer there. So I mean, those things would freak people out a little bit,
Yeah.
but you don't get freaked out.
No, no, no. I mean, I'm human. If I hear a sound in the middle of the night, I go, holy crap, that's creepy. Ugh. No, I'm just like everybody else. But instead, because I'm a firm believer in that having a body is like having a pet. You have to brush the fur and you have to feed it 3 times a day, which I think for a human is excessive. I mean, I have things to do, but you have to walk it, you have to socialize it, you have to do all these things, because so to keep it happy and going and moving and joyful in life. And I feel like if we can understand that we're not our body, we're just in this little mammal's body, this little carbon-based life form. So sometimes you get a dog from the shelter and it has a thunderstorm phobia or a fear of men, and so of course we would do whatever we can to make sure that they feel okay. I do the same with my body, because it just belongs to me in the moment. So if I hear a creepy noise in the middle of the night, I'm going to get up, I'm going to walk around, I'm going to turn on all the lights and go, hey, are we okay? You know, you're not allowed to bother me when I'm sleeping. Can you meet me tomorrow? I'm going to meditate in the morning. Would that be okay? And then and I have lights everywhere, because I know how my little physical body, I know what it wants and what it needs. And we have primordial hardwiring to be afraid. So if you're afraid, that's fine. So figure out something to do to make your little body feel better, like you would your cat or your dog or your horse or whatever. I mean, again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I feel like, well, let's just make it happen. And so I'm very proactive. I would just go downstairs and go, hey, are you okay? Really, are you okay? I mean, there's a smell and I'm feeling this creepy energy, and I don't want it to be creepy, because if I can help you, I'd love to. Because, look, my son, when I picked him up at kindergarten, he was 5 years old. I picked him up, and this is in Hollywood. His school was in Hollywood, and he was super mad. And I said, honey, what's wrong? He said, so-and-so's mother said ghosts aren't real. Why would she say something like that? That is not true. And I went, oh, here we go. Okay, so I had to explain the world to this kid, at 5. I'm like, here we go, honey. So non-magic folk, they're scared of ghosts. And he said, well, Mama, why would they be scared of ghosts? Ghosts are people too. It's just somebody's mom or daddy or brother or sister, so he knew even then, like, it really is okay. And so what we do is just very nonchalantly move through it. Am I going to pick a house that's super, infested with dead folks? No, I don't want to do that. So intuitively and organically, I pick places that are pretty clean. And also I say stuff all the time and put it out into the world to make sure that we're bubbled. So I don't, I'm not a witch, and I'm not a witch. So excuse my language, everybody. I'm not a witch. It's just because I'm a lazy bastard. I'm not going to do all that stuff. I'm not going to do in the candle and it has to be this color. And no. So I'm lazy and I don't like being told what to do. So I just walk through my house, and can I say say some things that I say?
Please
Would that
do.
be okay?
Yes.
So I just walk through my house and go, anything and everything that does not belong to me has to leave my space immediately. Anything and everything that is not for my highest and best good must leave right now. Anything and anyone who means me harm, means to keep me off balance or upset me or in any way, shape, or form, I don't allow that in my world. You're not allowed here. Any energy that comes to me, meaning me harm, I send it directly back to its point of origin, because you know what? I am bubbled, safe, and loved today and every day. And people go, oh, those are cute little mantras. And I go, no, honey, those aren't mantras, doll baby. Those are spells. Because, so I mean, it's language is magic. That's why they call it spelling, So I walk around and do these spells all the time. And so my house is clean and clear. Now I feel like I can feel anything a mile away. And I go, nope, you're not allowed here. Nope, you're not allowed here. And if it's a client, that's different, obviously, because if you've got icky sticky on you, I'm good. And look, I know I'm smiling a lot. And it's true, I am joyful, because joy is, for me, it's a discipline. I work very hard at it. But don't let that fool you. Don't let my big smile fool you. I've just last year came out of a dark decade of the soul. Not a dark night. Last year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I mean, darkness, I'm good. No matter what level of darkness you've got going on, I've got your back. I built a summer home there. Like, I'm good. I know all about the darkness, and I'm just not afraid. I'm not afraid. I think that's the bottom line. And that's learned too. You can teach yourself to not be afraid. And that's what I've done. Teach myself to be happy and teach myself to not be afraid. Well, when you work with highly aggressive dogs for as long as I did, you have to figure out how to convince yourself that you're okay. And I worked, I assisted with wolves and tigers and, I worked horses and house cats. And so, when you're working with animals, well, not house cats, but when you're working with animals who can literally actually take your life, you have to just go, okay, I'm all right. If they're freaked out, that makes me more solid, more grounded, because I'm the calm voice of reason. And I'm going to get all of us through this unscathed, and we're all okay. Whew, take a deep breath. And so I emotionally regulate kind of everybody around me. This is why I need days off.
Yeah, to recharge.
Yes, for sure.
I
For
wonder what your
sure.
design is. Do you know that?
I have no idea. So look, my thing that I've been working with is poverty. And I have been so broke my whole life. I mean, can't even afford to pay attention. So I didn't even have, chances to go to courses and take things and figure stuff out. Everything that I do is organic. I've never taken a class. I mean, my guides say do this and I go, okay. I mean, because I don't know no better. So no, I don't even know. That would be fascinating for me to find out. I mean, I don't even know my astrological stuff. I mean, I know I'm Aquarian, but other than
Okay,
that, I don't know.
it's very interesting. It sounds like, when you put so much out there that you have to go recharge. You have to recharge.
Woo!
Mhm.
Yes. And that's an autistic thing as well. And this is hardly a scientific study, of course. And I always giggle that my name is Cinnamon Clark, NMD. That stands for not a medical doctor. So that's my name. And that I stole from somebody else. That's not even mine, but it's hysterical. So I use it. So I really truly feel that autistic people are the magic people. If you are autistic, then you are a psychic person, because it's impossible to civilize out of us that knowing. We are like non-human animals, and that we see and feel things that are underneath the surface that others don't. So I am gifted to be autistic. I'm very grateful that is this little body that I'm currently in, because with that comes all my magic.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's an autistic thing to need to recharge. I can't go to Costco, can't go to Walmart, can't go to concerts. Like, ooh, Lord, no. It just fries my little brain pan. So I don't do it. I need more trees than people, and
Mhm.
and I need lots of nature. And so now I finally in my 50s have figured out, oh, this is what this body needs. Okay, good. So I literally broke up with my life last year and
Wow.
created a new one. Scary, very
Wow.
scary. And I released my dog business, and I'm doing this now full time.
Oh,
So
well, congratulations.
thank
We're
you.
going to have you on a quantum conversation with our live audience. I know they're going to love you. They're going to eat you
Fun.
up, actually, in a good way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, you're so inspiring for parents of autistic children. We've all known for a while, there's something very special
Yes.
about autistic children. They're open, they see so much more, they sense
Unfiltered.
more, unfiltered. And so you're actually a leader in some way, shape, or form, you're going to be a leader. I can sense that you're going to be a leader or an inspiration in the very least, because instead of shoveling people into a corner or a label, saying that
Yeah.
we are going to accept and support the wisdom that comes from beings that are labeled this way, and you
Yes.
understand it in a different way, and so it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
for sure. Well, and the animals taught me. The dogs taught me everything, and the horses taught me everything, and the house cats, and it's really similar. We all work so similarly. And when I went in to train house cats for this TV show, I went in like, I'm a trainer. I got this, and I don't got this. The cats walk off. They go and walk. So you have to relearn everything. And they humbled me. I'm humble anyway, but they humbled me even more. So I feel like people just dismiss, well, cats can't be trained. Well, autistic kids are just this way, or, oh, this is just the way that it is. We like to label and categorize things, and then it takes any other opportunities off the board. And that just makes me nuts, because you never know. I mean, you really never know. Like, you have no idea why this group of autistic children have shown up en masse.
Mhm.
right? Like the narcissistic people now are coming out of the woodwork en masse. And then you had, indigo children who were older who we showed up to burn it down. And I mean, and I have chills all over my body as I say that for physical confirmation. So I
Yes.
feel like I try to be as open as possible because, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And I don't know a dadgum thing. I'm learning every day and grateful for it. So I absolutely would love to help parents with autistic children and psychic children because it's kind of the same thing. And I think both of those sets of parents are fearful, little different reasons, but they're both very fearful. Fearful, will my child be okay?
Mhm.
How are they going to navigate their world? Are they going to be fulfilled?
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's all connected. I feel like it's all connected.
Well, I just want to say that the beautiful. So then, okay, let's look at this. You said you went through a decade night of the soul.
Woo!
And that would have been, if you did this last year, 2022, that means 2012.
Yeah.
Wow. So that
And my
gate,
world did end. Aha. you
well,
know?
so that gateway of 2012, was there a deeper awakening? What happened in over the 10 years? Because 2022 was another powerful year,
Yeah.
very transformative for so many people. So
Well, I feel like it was my I didn't want to let go of the title that I had made for myself. Animals have come to me my entire life. I thought this is what I do. This is my life. I work for them. This is my life. I've dedicated my entire life. And even now, if you just Google, even if you just brutalize my name and Google Cinnamon, Los Angeles, it'll be American Pit Bull Terriers because I started rescuing them in the early 90s. So, and I've worked at South Central Animal Shelter and like I was a veterinary technician in emergency clinics for 15 years. And I mean, anything and everything to do with animals, that's me. I've done that, right? So that was my whole world and I didn't want to let it go. And my ego didn't want to let it go. My
right.
ego, because my ego said, yeah, but every time you say I work with dogs, people go, oh, I love dogs. And it's so lovely. And then people like you. And now I have to say, well, I'm a psychic medium, an animal communicator, an energy healer. And like, they go, what? And now it's all convoluted and jacked up. So the releasing of that, of my identity was very painful. And I mean kicking and screaming, I didn't want to do it. I fought that so much and kept going and kept going. But the thing is when you are as sensitive as I am, you get complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which I have. Because at the South Central Shelter in Los Angeles, I broke up more dog fights before 8 a.m. Like, phew, I mean, woo! And there's only so much you can see and you can't unsee it. And I completely understand that suffering is universal and I don't turn away from suffering. I walk into it, but I had to find the balance of, I need to get my finger out of this dam because it's leaking all these dogs. I need to get my finger out and go up to the top of the river and see who's dumping dogs in the river. I was down in the trenches and I needed to walk out of that. And now, I would love to do more behavior, things on behavior. I really love it. And I'm such a nerd and I geek out over it because it's so fascinating because I bridge the gap there because the dogs tell me and I have the logical behavior. And so it's so fun and easy for me to help people with troubled animals. But at any rate, I feel like it was the not wanting to let it go and traumatizing myself every time I kept working with these really violent animals. And then the recognition, wait, there are other people now who have come up to fill those roles. That is no longer my role. Now I have blazed the way because I also got complex PTSD from, and I'm just going to call a thing, the men trainers who were in Los Angeles when I was a trainer. And so that was really, I literally worked for a man and couldn't stand it anymore because he was so violent to the animals. I couldn't do it. And I sat down with him and said, in my Southern way, I never burn a bridge. I said, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I think I'm going to try to have my business again. And hopefully it's a success. You never know. He literally patted me on the knee and said, oh, you will fail. You don't know what you're doing. Your techniques are ridiculous. Your man is going to leave you because you're going to be a failure and you're going to crawling back for your job in a month. And I didn't miss a beat. Thank you so much. You're so probably right. And oh my gosh, I so hope that you give me my job back in a month, please. You know, ha 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 ha. And that year I won Best Dog Trainer in Los Angeles,
Right on.
LA Weekly. It's like, don't you dare tell me what I can and can't do.
I
You
love
need
the
to
way you handled it.
Woo,
I do
always.
say
Never
that's
burn a bridge.
yeah, that's really that's a lesson in itself right there.
Well,
So many of us would just get angry and you know, fight back, but you just did it with grace
smile.
and a smile.
And then channeled my anger like I'm gonna and I was teaching class after class after class with my friend Tia of Pebbles and Parolees. It's a TV show, Pebbles and Parolees, but Tia and I go way back, and I did all these classes for her all over Los Angeles at the animal shelters, and I mean I was working my butt off. But at any rate, I feel like letting go of that identity was extreme. It was a death.
Yes.
I was grieving and mourning and forlorn and untethered and lost and depressed and had debilitating anxiety and had this little baby and had to leave that relationship where got a divorce. I just got a divorce, we'll leave that there. And so had to forge this new life. And recently I've told my son, he's now 14, and I said, you know what, I can't wait. Oh, here's Crawfish, my little dog Crawfish. He's going to join us. Hey, Crawfish. So I told my son, I said, you know what, I can't, all you've ever known is me being depressed and sad and full of anxiety, and I cannot wait for you to see who I become. And you know what, I can't even wait to see who I become because I have no idea where this is going. But I know one thing for sure, that if I trust my gut is my guides, and I'm gonna be okay. And we're gonna be better than okay. So I got a little last year, got a little credit card to pay for the movers, and we moved out of Los Angeles, and I was terrified. But we did it anyway, and now we are so incredibly grateful that we did. Just incredibly grateful.
We see who you are, and you are a bright light. You are just one of those stars that's behind you. You are a bright light, and you are going to help many people. You already are, actually. And so really, really important that you are stepping into this role more.
Scary.
It is. See, that's the inspiration for so many. We are scared to step into our gifts and step into our new earth roles. And that's why it's so important, because you're doing it. And it may have taken you a decade to get through that, but now it's going to accelerate even faster. And your story, your influence for others is going to make them pass through the decade of the soul much sooner than a decade.
Oh,
and it'll
I
help.
hope so.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that story, and thank you for stepping into your gifts.
Terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying, but you did it. And it's back to the ego. It's the death of the ego.
Definitely. And boy, I fought that. Oh, and I look back and go, man, I could have made it so much easier on myself, but I just didn't. I didn't. And even really, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want you to go.
I mean, even this year, you know, I did another show, John Burgess show, a couple months back. And the day that we did that first episode, he asked me on for another one, actually after the first one. I was so grateful for that. But that day, before we filmed that, I cried all day. I cried all the week before. And I was walking around cussing the universe, going, you know what? Screw you, universe. I quit. And I had literally quit. And I said, that's it. I am gonna, and I was like, my big dig, I was in my anger. I'm like, I'm gonna get a job at AutoZone. Like, ooh, good stinger, Cinnamon. It was the furthest thing I could think of from what I'm doing. I'm like, well, and that's it, because I cannot pay rent. I cannot pay rent. And I've given up literally everything, and I cannot pay rent. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to trust again. And I washed my face and I put my makeup on. I said, this is my last hurrah. This is, so I'm going to give it all I've got. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to be my big spazzy self. I'm not going to mask. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to be nerdy and dorky. And I have a filthy mouth. I've done real well on this show here with you, reining it in because I have a filthy freaking mouth. And I said, I don't care. I'm just going to go for broke. And I remember I had to set up this calendar thing, right, for people to do. And then I thought, nobody's ever going to actually buy a session with me. So it was all loosey goosey. And when I say nobody's going to buy a session with me, I mean this. February, it's my birthday month, February. I put out this newsletter and I was so excited for like almost 1,000 people, and I'm going to do this event, and it was only $100, and it was going to be 2 hours. And I had lots of people on TikTok, and I did videos, and everybody, here it is. One person signed up, and she didn't even show, she forgot. So this is what I was doing. So I'm telling y'all, if you're in that limbo, it breaks free. It really does break free. I'm telling you. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you what my mama has always told me. My mama turned 80 this year, but she's still back in Mississippi. But mama has told me forever that, you know, she says, doll baby, nothing lasts forever. Not even the good stuff. So you know what? It even if you don't do a debt gum thing, your situation's going to change. It really is. And so that day when I filmed that for the show, after that I washed my hair, washed my face. I'm like, that's it, okay, in the morning. And I had signed up for like ZipRecruiter and all these things, to get the stay-at-home job. Really set up something. And then the next morning I woke up and I was overbooked. I went, oh shit, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Like, I've never had this before. So I had to scramble and do the calendar, and oh my word. So my guides always told me it would be like a light switch. And then when the money would come in, then I wouldn't have to worry anymore. All I have to do is work my little butt off, which I'm good at doing anyway. I do that mess for free, and then I'd be okay. And so here I am, couple months later, just trying to get out there and tell everybody, here I am. If you've got some darkness and some funk, I can help you.
Beautiful.
So that's where I am in the moment.
Well, I love that, because what I like to say for people is just do what you love. Do what you know that comes so easily for you. Do what you love and do it consistently.
Yes.
And show up for yourself.
That was it for me.
Show up for yourself.
Ooh, I didn't do that. And for me, it's easy to charge for stuff I hate to do. It's hard to charge for stuff I love to do.
Why does that happen? Because we don't value ourselves enough.
And that was it. And you know what? When we moved into this little cottage where we are now, my son and I moved in here, five months ago. I was unpacking as you do. And I pulled out all the books, and it was Susie Orman and Smart Women Finish Rich and Dave Ramsey and like Napoleon Hill and all these books about money and finances. And it clicked into my little head like, oh, shit, it's not about the money at all. It's about my self-loathing that I had no idea was there. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, hey, Cinimon, do you have self-loathing? I would have, are you on glue? I don't have self-loathing. What are you talking about? I love myself. I had no idea. And we have these blinders on for a reason. And I feel like it was, for me, it was a timing thing. It was this is the first part of your life. Now this is the second part of your life. And for so many of us, that's what's happening. And I feel so wholeheartedly there is a line of demarcation, and all of that suffering. Well, and can I do another one of these, of my little sayings? Because the suffering is completed. Yes. For a lot of us, the suffering is completed. And so here's what I say when I walk around my house. I go, every decision I make from here on out takes me farther away from suffering and trauma I do not acquire anymore in this lifetime. Every decision I make, even down to mayo or mustard, from here on out, keeps me in alignment with my financial abundance and my safety and my security and my serenity. Whew. And I just say it in my head. I say it when I'm washing dishes. I say it when I'm folding clothes, all the time, because I don't want to accrue anymore. I have done my time and everybody else's too. And I'm freaking tired, as so many of us are. And so now I go, no, that is no longer allowed in my world. And people who mean me harm, I no longer allow them access to me. I just don't. And I smile and I nod and I go, oh, no, thank you. And I just don't allow them anymore. I didn't know it was that easy. I had no idea. And now looking back on my life, I can see all the decisions that I made subconsciously were, where is the most suffering? That's what the one I'll take, please. That, oh, I'll just go work at South Central Animal Shelter being as sensitive as I am. What was I thinking? I was thinking I want to help. I want to make it better, but I was doing it in ways that were traumatizing me. So now I make decisions that keep me intact and still allow me to help. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough there.
It does. And listening to you and you showing up for you the way that you are, we call that authenticity.
Yeah, that was scary.
It's unfiltered you. It's for you to be able to speak the way you feel like speaking, express yourself the way you feel like expressing yourself, and not having a fear of what other people think of you.
Ooh.
Or caring about what other people think. That is a program that runs so deep in all of us. Not all.
Or burn me at the stake again. You know what I mean? I thought, it's past lives and even in this life. I mean, this is the 70s in Mississippi when I grew up. I mean, and that's for sure. Like, especially little girls, and three things that patriarchy will not allow. Women and girls, you're not allowed to have opinions. You're not allowed to have boundaries, and you're sure never allowed to have anger. And I have all three in spades. So I learned how to shore it up. And look, I'm writing this book. I'm almost done, thank goodness. But in one of the chapters called the How Dare She Monsters. And woo-wee, I have been around those how dare she monsters my whole life. How dare she wear that? How dare she say that out loud? How dare she go do that by herself? Who does she think she is? And I'm big. I'm a big personality. And I can't help it. It is freaking what it is, man. But I feel like I had put mud all over my whole body so I wouldn't shine. Because I feel like my existence makes people angry. And the reason I make people angry, those how dare she monsters, is because they are too afraid to be themselves. And so, I went on TikTok, like 2 years ago, and my guide said, get on there. And I went, I'm a spaz. Have you met me? I don't want to do that. Oh, my Lord. And they said, do it. And I did it. And come to find out, being a spaz is okay. And people don't, and you know what? Not only is being a spaz okay, people judging me is okay. Ooh, people judging me is okay. They have a right to be here just as much as I do. But, I don't have to believe what they say. It's just like all the thoughts in your head. You don't have to believe them. They're just thoughts. Oh my God. That's just like, and we have like 9 trillion a day. I mean, come on now, I mean, and if we believed everybody else's opinion, even our own thoughts, I mean, that's like a screen door in a submarine. You just gonna drown, so having some kind of boundaries for yourself, for other people, for the living, for the dead, for the animals, for the kids, for the grown-ups, for all of it, having some kind of boundaries, because if you want to help and you have no boundaries, that's a recipe for disaster, because that was my whole life until now.
See, that's what feels so fresh. Just listening to you is an activation for all of us. It's a kick in the astral.
Oh, good one. Love it.
Because it really is. There's so many of us light workers who are scared to be seen.
Whew,
and so, even speakers who come on the show still deal with that or keeping it small, playing it small.
Ooh. And this is what we do in my sessions.
Tell us more, please. Yes, I was going to ask.
This is what we do in my sessions. So it's a package thing. It's 30-minute reading or we talk about what we need to do in your healing. So, and every reading is different. I have no idea what's going to happen because it's not about me. This is about you. It's yours. So your deceased loved ones may come through animals, or maybe nobody, or maybe everybody. And we don't even ask. Don't know. Maybe, who knows what's going to happen with the reading. But the healing, I of course lead you through a guided meditation for a body relax, and then I go through your chakras and clean out anything. And I mean, the weirdest stuff comes out of there, like typewriters and like ponies and like who knows what's going to come out of there, right? And then that's where all your past lives come through, and we not only talk about your past lives and we get to kind of go through it and see what happened, we also heal them. Because that's super duper important. Because if we just observe them, that don't do nobody any good. We need to get back in there and heal that up, because if we heal your past, we heal your now. This is major. And so any kind of feelings of and also what we do, gosh, is any, if you've lived a life in a religious order, a monk, a priest, or a nun, and if you've taken vows at some in year, I don't know, 12, 13 or something, that you've not, if you've not untaken them, they're still going. We release all of that, and chances are really good, if you have a fear of being seen, then this is directly correlated to a past life, and we will find that one. So look, if y'all get a session with me and it's multiple past lives that are all terrible, it's not that every past life was terrible. They show me like a Rolodex, and the guides are going, this one, this one, and that one, and it's just connected to what we're releasing in the moment. You haven't been like murdered in horrific ways every single time. That's not how it works. We're just working on releasing all of that core stuff. And this could be also your lineage too, in your physical body's lineage going back, and we can go and release that stuff also. And then I have an extensive gardens, which we can go in and go play through all the gardens and go through little gates and things and fields, and depending on what your guides tell me to do. Because look, I do what I'm told. The guides tell me and I do it, so they know what they're doing. Your healing team shows up, and we clear it out like in a big way. So if you book a session, book for yourself, have some time after to because your body's just going to be like a little toddler after that. You're going to need a snack and a nap, honey, just a snack and a nap to let your body kind of get back to rights again.
This is cellular cleansing.
Oh, probably. I never even thought about that.
Yes, our genetics are held within every single cell. Our DNA is being cleansed and actually upgraded with each of these experiences. Our awareness that you help bring into people's experience is huge of an activation for our light body and our DNA. So, all right, folks can find the link, the special offer for a session with you, 90 minutes, half-hour reading, and then an hour energy and clearing. That's right here on this webpage, or wherever you're watching this video. It's in the description box. We encourage you to sign up for this. She's going to be booked, you can tell. And I think we all would love a session with you. No matter what's going on in our lives, you're going to be able to find it and identify it. And that's really helping our souls shine.
And you don't have to know. That's the thing. It's not this big, huge process. And here's the cool part about all this mess. Half the stuff that I do is way beyond my pay grade, y'all. Are you kidding me? No, I don't know how all this fancy stuff. I don't even know how electricity works, but I know I flick on the light switch and it comes on. That works for me. So I'm just a little conduit here. So I don't even have to know specifically where it is. Your guides say right there, and I go, okay. And again, being autistic helps me so much, because I just do what I'm told. Like, okay, I'm not going, well, that's ridiculous. Well, why would no, I can trust completely. And for me, I'm very trauma informed, and everything I do, I call the kindness bubble. Everything. Because now I have a Patreon, and I'm doing this podcast thing, and I'm like doing all this stuff, but it's truly the kindness bubble. So when you get a session with me, you are absolutely bubbled and safe. It is safe to be who you are. It is safe to say anything and everything that you feel. I will never judge you. That is not who I am as a person. I don't judge people ever. I just don't do it. So you are completely safe with me. So even if it's some deep, dark, awful secret, I'm like your companion animal. You can tell me everything. I'm like your dog or your horse. You can absolutely tell me everything. And I will never judge you, and I will never bring it up again. Because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to be the container for you to get rid of all that funk, so you can fill it up with whatever you want to fill it up with, wonderful new experiences or whatever. I feel like we're all these little cups, and we just have all these awful experiences in it. We try to put the good stuff on top, but it's just rolling off the sides. You know what I am? I've never said it like this before, but I'm basically your little spiritual spatula. Your spiritual spatula, and I'm gonna get up in there and get all that funk out for you so you can start allowing in good stuff into your life and you're not repeating these same ridiculous patterns. Oh my God. And so you can grow because I really do believe Dr. Wayne Dyer said, how do you tell when if something's alive? It's growing. Ah, it's growing. So I just want to help you grow, and I learn from everybody too. So I'm just grateful that I get to do this. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I get to do this and help people. Holy crap. This is just the coolest thing ever.
Wow, really fascinating and wonderful. Like I say, we're going to have you back to interact with our audience in the
Yay.
year of 2024. We look forward to that. I know everyone's going to look forward to that. Just watch your email, everyone. You'll see the announcement for that.
You know what I feel like we're supposed to do? I feel like we're supposed to go someplace specific in my garden.
Let's do
Um,
that.
and they're
Okay.
going, and my guides are so funny. They go, don't think, just do. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sounds
that's what I'm going to do. And they know better, I mean, if I try to, again, I love being autistic because I don't get my ego in it. My
good.
ego's just not in it at all. If anything, I probably need more ego. Oh my gosh. So when they say do, I just go, okay, because I know that it's correct. I
Yeah.
trust that completely. And thank goodness that I can,
Wow.
because, yeah, but it's just practice, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's just practice and doing it over and over and over and over and over. Then it just gets easier and easier. And again, like I feel like I'm not the only one who could do this stuff. Like, come on now, I mean, I'm cool and all, but ain't nobody that cool. Like, there's so many other people who can do exactly what I do. We all do it just a little different way, of course. But, if you want all of your psychic stuff activated, I mean, this is how to do it. Like, get a session with me too, because boy, howdy, it's like, be prepared. Be prepared. Okay, so we want to do a little meditation.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, let's do it. So start by taking a couple deep breaths, and I'm going to ask them where they would like me to begin. And they say, can we please just begin in my little walled-in garden? So if you can imagine yourself in this lovely little garden of mine. I love it here. The walls are made out of round stone, and there's creeping fig growing up. Everything is so lush and green. And the grass is just so vibrant, and it blows just gently in the breeze. You can hear the birds singing. And the temperature here is always just perfect. And the sun is warming your skin. And if you look up, you can see clouds just gently floating by. Oh, and the flowers. There's so many flowers here. They do all bloom at the same time, but it really smells amazing. There are big trees here too. You can see their leaves blowing in the wind and the sunlight dappled through. And by the way, if y'all see a little animal running around, I have a little red fox here, and she really loves when people come to visit. And what she says is, if you have an owie in your heart, then please bend down and she will jump into your arms and you can pet her and snuggle with her. And she will help heal that owie that's in your heart. If you don't want to pick her up, she can run around your feet. She just chitters and runs around. She feels everybody's here to see her, and she wants to help everybody feel a little better. She feels like that's her job, and she takes her job very seriously. It's a very important job. So here's what we're going to do. My garden, this particular part of it is a rectangle. It's long and skinny. So as we walk through my garden, the wall is on the left-hand side. And you'll see it when you probably see it now. It's this lovely little round top wooden gate. And it has a black wrought iron ring. You just pull that little ring ever so gently and walk through that gate. And now we're in the forest. It's so lovely here. And the wonderful thing about being here is every single thing is safe. Nothing can hurt you here. You can be your absolute authentic self here. And so the path that we're on is really wide and very well maintained. It's, like mulch and wood chips on it. It's easy to navigate. And if you look left and right, you can see ferns on the ground at the feet of the beautiful trees. And the sunlight dapples through here as well. So even though when you look up, the trees do overlap one another and canopy over our little walkway, but it's still quite bright because the sunlight shines through. And you can see all the birds and hear them singing. Little rabbits are hopping around on the ground. So we're just going to walk for a moment or two, enjoying this lovely forest. I feel there's so many animals here for people who are going to listen to this. That threw me off. So if you see animals in the forest, more than likely they belong to you and they're your spiritual helpers. So when we get to this fork in the road, you may be able to even see it now. The fork in the road is right there. What we're going to do is take a right. Today we're going to take a right. And the little path goes down just a little bit, just slightly. It's not very deep. But as we're walking up this slight hill, you may be even able to hear this little rock bed stream, this little babbling brook. You can probably hear it before we even see it. So when we top the hill, ooh, there it is. There's no vegetation around it or anything. It's just this lovely little stream through the forest. And when we go over and look down at it, it is little rock bed, little pebbles on the bottom, and it's crystal clear. You can see all the way through to the bottom. And man, doesn't it look so lovely? It looks so wonderful. Let's just whip our shoes off and stand in it. Let's just do that. And you know what? It's not cold at all. You'd think it would be, but it's not. It feels so good. You can wiggle your toes around in it, feel those little pebbles. And you know what? It feels so good. Let's just lay down. Let's just lie down in this water. You can feel those pebbles moving through your fingers. They're so smooth. This little stream can be as narrow or as wide as you like. And it can be really shallow, or you can have a little swimming hole off to the side if you like. It's still crystal clear. You can see all the way to the bottom. There's nobody in there but you. You're very safe. So as we're lying here in this water that feels so good, you realize these waters are magic. It's magical. So you know what? All of that fear that you had, that fear of you being seen, oh my God, it's just washed away. What? That's amazing. All that fear of you sharing your gifts with the world, it's just washing away. You're realizing the truth. You just don't need it. The time has come now for you to be yourself. Any fears about being judged or being punished or consequences for your actions, for speaking your truth, and all of these fears that you have held, they just don't matter anymore. And now as this water flows over you, it brings it this truth absolute that flows over your body. And this truth absolute is the time has now come for you to make a decision. Are you going to stand up and be your authentic self and allow your world to flow effortlessly? Or are you going to stay in that fear? And as this fear is just really washed away, there's not much of that fear to hold on to anymore. It's just all washing away so easily, you don't even have to do anything about it. All you have to do is lie here and receive. Isn't that something? And your healing team is here. You can hear the smile in my voice every time they show up. And you know what? They're assisting with just removing all of that fear. You know what? They can't harm us anymore. You know that, right? And it's your birthright to be who you are. That's the purpose of you. The purpose of you is to create this amazing new world for yourself, because when you are doing what you love to do, Your joy and your energy shines out of your body like a beacon of hope for other people all around you. You can be a way shower too. By being your authentic self, you show other people it is safe to do so. And now the time has come for it to be easy. Oh, I feel that's the next thing that this beautiful water is flowing over you and removing. It's removing difficulty. It's removing challenges. And it's allowing you to have a life that's based on ease and flow and mutual respect and dignity and honor and love. Whew, just allow that to float over you. Take a deep breath and just take note of how your body feels. Take note of how your body feels. Is it a little lighter? Do you have a few less aches and pains? Do you feel a little more hope? Do you feel a little less fearful of speaking your truth out loud? I feel like as we wrap this up, I want you to just start moving your little fingers and through those rocks and move your toes through there. And maybe kind of move your shoulders around a little bit. Take another deep breath. And whenever you would like, whenever it feels comfortable for you, can stand up in this stream. And of course, you know, when you stand up, you're already dry because magic, of course. And now I want you to take note of your body and how it feels. Hopefully a little lighter, a little easier, a little more confident, because here's the thing. You actually are good at what you do, you know. And as I talk, here's what I want us to do. Let's go back on the little path the way we came. So when we get to that fork in the road, we're going to take a left and go back through the forest. We're just heading back to our lovely little walled-in garden. And so as you walk, I'm just going to tell you some things that are absolutely true. You matter. What you feel is important. How you move through your world is important. The things you say to yourself and out loud are important. What you need is important. And you showing up for yourself and being authentic is the most important part of all. So let's go through that little round top gate, and we end up back where we started in that lovely little walled-in garden with all those flowers, with that little fox running around at our feet. And now your body is ready for the future that you create. It's time for you to create a life that's so perfectly suited for you that you don't want to escape it. It seems daunting, but it really isn't. All you have to do is pay attention and do what feels right in each moment, and you've got it. You've got this. I have absolute faith in you. You've got this. And with that, let's take another deep breath. Roll our shoulders a little bit. Wiggle our fingers, maybe bring our ear down to each shoulder, just really gently. Maybe bring your chin down to your chest, and whenever you're ready, just open your eyes. How did that feel?
Expansive and exhilarating.
Yay!
And comforting and
Safe.
Safe and authentic and empowered. Wow. You remind me of Judy Callie. You're so different. You're both so different, but just the purity of the message that comes through brings us into our heart, our sacred heart. And
knowing your power.
Yes. Yeah.
We forget. Because, you know, our spirit guides aren't here to help us because we're helpless. They're here to help us because we are extremely powerful. We just come down with amnesia for a reason, because if we came down here and we remembered all of the lives that we've lived on this planet, this one wouldn't feel as important. So our power is magnificent. And sitting in that power and not being afraid of it, not being afraid of our power, not being afraid of our darkness, not being afraid of our rage, not being afraid of any of it, because all of those bits are you. And there's power in all of that, in your grief, in your sadness, in your sorrow, in your anger, all of it. And we came down here to experience the deliciousness that this particular planet offers. And so let me tell y'all, if you're afraid to be seen, somebody's going to do it. Might as well be you. Somebody's going to get all them clients. Why not you? How come not you? Who says it's not going to be you? If you're feeling good and doing what you feel is right, all the other things just kind of flow. When you fight yourself, that's when it gets all hairy and it gets a pain in the ass and nothing goes right. And you're just like, just be open, because stranger things have happened. Why not you?
Why not? Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look out there and see people who are living authentically, they don't care what they look like. You know, we can all see people on YouTube, for example. I'm not judging or criticizing anyone, but I'm awed at the fact that some people just show up the way they show up,
Yeah.
and they get it done. And so thank you. Your words are so inspiring. And
Oh,
I
thank you.
personal sessions with you are going to be life-changing for people. It's just an awareness. It helps open our eyes to the greater soul that we are. Make that connection with our higher self. Let our soul shine. You are helping
Yes.
shine our soul light. Thank
It's
you.
important, and the time is now.
Yes.
The time is now. And you know what? I always hear this is from Harry Potter, when Dumbledore said to Harry Potter, the time has now come to make a decision between doing what is easy and doing what is right.
Okay.
So is it easy to stay small? Totally. Is it easy to go, oh no, I can't, I don't, oh, no, I don't have letters after my name. I'm not some fancy person. I don't have any school, and I don't, no, I don't. No. Yeah, look, I don't have any. That's why I joke. But NMD, not a medical doctor. I don't have any letters after my name, and I never did when I worked behavior either. It's just doing it, and this is what I feel called to do. So I am valid. I am valid, and
Yes.
I validate myself. Do I know everything? Oh Lord, no. You kidding me? Oh man, but as long as I'm learning, I'm happy. And as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and what I feel in my heart is right for me, then I'm happy. And so why not everybody do that? That's what we're here to do right now. And
Mhm.
look, I know the whole world seems like a diaper fire and everything is just falling apart. And my guides have told me for 2 years, they call it the Great Reckoning. The
Yeah.
Great Reckoning, meaning, well, patriarchy is crumbling. And they showed me a buoy in the water, and women have been drowning for thousands of years. And now the buoy is reversed, and men are panicking because now they are being forced to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all of these ways. And so not only is it patriarchy, but it's capitalism that's crumbling, and it's white supremacy that's crumbling, and religion is crumbling. So
Yeah.
we're in, and I'm Aquarian, so I'm ready for the age of Aquarius. So I'm good with things shifting and change, but a lot of people aren't. So the reason I'm saying all of this is, my guide said this is expected because here is why it's happening. The majority of us want a new world that's inclusive and
Yeah.
safe and non-judgmental and
Mhm.
kind.
And
And so
love.
if we want this new world, we cannot keep the old one. So it's crumbling before our eyes. And if we can keep our eye on the prize, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And look, I'm a mama of a 14-year-old boy, and to see him and how he interacts with his friends and seeing his friends and who they are as people, it's amazing. They are inclusive. They don't care who you love.
Mhm.
They understand that we are all equal, and they understand that respect is earned. And
Yes.
they have authenticity, and they have integrity.
Yeah.
And so, even though everything is crumbling now, these youngins coming up, ooh, it's about to get good, y'all. It's fixing to get so good. So we just need to hang on. And what will help usher in the new world is you being your authentic self. That's it. That's the key.
So beautiful. Cinnamon Clark,
Thank you.
thank you for this soul shine conversation. You have lifted us up and we are vibrating higher. Thank you. We are all in joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, we invite everyone to check out Cinnamon's special offer. It's right here. Book a session with her and get going and get inspired in your life and clean up as well. Thank you, Cinnamon.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Truly. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Namaste.
So shine, so shine, shine bright. So shine, so shine, shine bright.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in Unity Consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.